Warning, this podcast is not for the faint of heart.
We keep it real and raw.
And talk about issues that other podcasts wouldn't dare. This is the Truth of the Matter podcast with Dr. Spencer. Step into our world. What do you do if you fall in love with one of your kids' friends who's over 18? How do you handle getting caught in bed with your boss? Why do girls like bad boys? Are you burned out from an unbalanced career and personal life? Are you still working while your kids are telling you how their days went? Our passion is to help people in relationships, anyone you have a connection with in life, neighbors, coworkers, family, spouse, kids, yourself, and helping you achieve the work-life balance. Let's have some fun and let's get educated. This is the Truth of the Matter podcast. And now your host, Dr. Lamarr Renee Spencer.
Well, hello, everyone. You know who it is, Dr. Lamarr Renee Spencer, your favorite life alignment strategist and life, relationship, and business coach. I hope everyone is doing well out there, and thank you again, as always, for joining me on this journey. But let's get into it. So, many people struggle to say no to someone, especially when it comes to the people that they love, the people that they're closest to. And that can include family, friends, colleagues. But what about your parents? It can be especially difficult to say no to them. After all, most of us adore our parents and are grateful for everything that they've done for us. But no matter how much your parents have done for you, guess what? You don't owe them anything. And that is so, like you always want to make your parents happy. And I know this is not going to be the most favorable topic because I, for one, always feel like I need to do more and more. I always strive to make my parents happy. And I do feel like I owe them. Now, of course, I could never repay, especially I have to be honest, I have a very close relationship with my mother. And I've seen so many times where she's sacrificed and, gone to work sick, worked 2 jobs to just, make sure that I have memorable childhood, even adulthood. And she does the same for my daughter. And some people may say, oh, you were a spoiled brat because I'm an only child and my daughter's an only child. But I hope to let you know that is completely the opposite. There is no benchmark. There is no one to be compared to. So you have to work hard. That bar is constantly being raised, which I'm okay with. I actually liked it. I've spoke about this many times that I feel like I'm an overachiever. I've always felt like that I was attracted to stress, because no one wants to be a disappointment to their parents. And you definitely don't want to say no. I would find every other word except for no. Maybe, let's think about it. How about we talk about it later? Because in my mind, that's saying, you know what, if we delay whatever's going on, then maybe she'll forget. And never happened. I'm here to tell you. And time, money, a place to live, a job, your feelings, your thoughts, a shared opinion on any topic, your religious beliefs, your political beliefs, access to your children, your interests, access to your spouse, your significant other, intimate responsiveness, and immediate responsiveness. Those are the things that you may feel like you owe your parents. And of course, many of us feel like we can't say no. I grew up as a Baptist, and I have to say there was times where I wanted to maybe drift over and, study a different religion. I couldn't tell my mother, no, I don't want to be a Baptist anymore, because growing up in the time that I did, you didn't ask questions. You just did it. And you didn't know if it made sense or not until, of course, you became an adult and you thought about it. You're like, wait a minute, that really doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't make sense now, and it didn't make sense before. But again, you never question it. You never say no. But honestly, as an adult, even in my 40s, I like to feel that I'm somewhat empowered, that I have a preference, a choice, and that I can elect to do what I'd like to do, regardless of the price or the cost, and not having to worry about if it's going to inflict, not danger or harm, but, be a disappointment to, of course, parents. And so I always, sometimes I was one of the ones that go along with the flow. But I have to say now, especially having a 14-year-old, that, and maybe some of you feel that way, you have to make your own decisions. And you have to question what they mean, why they saying what they did, and, the motive behind it. Now, we know that most of our parents, if not all, always have the best intentions for us. They always want to be protective. But the bottom line is sometimes we have to just get out there and we have to make our own decisions. Now, of course, with the decisions, sometimes there's a consequence. But the life that they may want for you may not be the life that you want. I remember early on, and this is not a negative, he thought, I'm doing the right thing. My father wanted me to get another master's in finance, and I didn't want to tell him, but eventually I did. I was like, what? Finance is not one of my strong suits. I do not want to. I want to go and get a PhD. Well, we kind of went back and forth with that for a while. And of course, not saying that he was not happy about it or proud, but to me, I had already been in finance, and I've been doing it for about 15 years at the time. And as an adult and for a career choice, I feel like the PhD was the better avenue for me. And you know what? It paid off. But of course, your parents always have hopes and dreams, especially when it comes to your future. And they should really never interfere with yours. But of course they are. I know, I'm sure my daughter's going to be 40 or 50 years old. And guess what? I'm probably going to be interfering in hers. And I always going to feel like, the same as my parents feel like that I'm still a little kid. And I always still feel like my daughter is a little kid too. I mean, she's 14, but I always think of her as being that 6 or 7 pound baby. But I have to say, adulting is the time to kind of carve our paths. And sometimes it may be similar to our parents, but it might be completely difficult or different. We never know which category we will fall into until we take the opportunity to make the choice that maybe our family and friends may not have made or may disagree with or flatly reject. You don't have to follow the path of your family and friends, especially your parents. It is a gift to realize that your path may be different from your family's and the ones that come to have made the decision in business, relationships, and life. They may disagree with you, but you have to stand. And I know there's a gospel song, and he said, you have to stand. Donnie McClurkin. And it's the truth. Of course, my mother always said to me, she's like, you have to stand. Now, I have to say, she's one of the ones that say, just go ahead and try it. If you fail, it's fine, whatever. But I always tell my daughter, I said, what? I want you to fail. Because if you always have success, you're never going to know what it's like to fail. So I tell her, go ahead and, try it. See what it, see how it is. It's okay. And then along the way, sometimes you might find that either you like it, you love it, or it's a segue to something else. I, for one, never thought I'd work in a pharmaceutical. Never in my wildest dreams, especially 20 years in. In college, I always said, and actually in high school, I wanted to be a bus driver, like yellow school bus driver, not like the coach bus drivers, school bus, because I had like a cool bus driver, so that's what I wanted to be. In school, they asked, okay, what is it you want to be? I said, I want to be a bus driver. Meanwhile, every other kid was saying they wanted to be doctors and lawyers, but I did not. And even I remember going to college, my father said, you still want to be a bus driver? I said, yeah. He said, well, you'll be a bus driver with a degree, but you're going to get it. Now, of course, I still actually in the back of my mind want to be a bus driver, as silly as it seems, but I always thought bus drivers were so cool, and they always played that cool music too. And I was like, yeah, I want to be a bus driver. But of course, my path was different, but I got to meet a lot of great people along the way, and I've learned a lot. And so that comes as a result of saying no. And there's this saying my father always said. He said, sometimes you have to do something, make a decision that you're going to feel proud about, and others will feel the, I can't remember the word, but feel the impact. That's what it was. And you're right. Sometimes other people have to feel the impact, but you have to stand strong on your decision. And sometimes it's no. It's not, let me think about it. It's not, let's table it. No is a complete sentence. Now, of course, here I am, 45, saying just say no, right? And I still don't always say no. But that's, you could say no respectfully, even if you got to put on a sticky note and just say, nope, don't want to do it, right? But it's the truth. And so if someone in your family is mistreating you, you don't even have to put up with that because they're family. And we don't always have to tolerate being shamed, humiliated, bullied, betrayed, or abused, especially in the physical realm or even sexually or emotionally. Now you're saying, well, what does that have to do with it? Because you don't owe anyone anything. You can say no. Matter of fact, in some of the situations and examples I'm going to be talking about today, you need to say no and you need to stand firm. And you don't have to feel like you have to sacrifice who you are. No is a complete sentence. You don't have to please your family and friends or parents. It means, even if it means hiding parts of yourself or pretending to be someone else that you're not, sacrificing your sense of self to family expectations breeds resentment, anger, and pain. Healthy relationships give you the freedom to be your own true self. If your family relationships don't permit this, then it's time to consider maybe setting some boundaries. I've had to do that along the way, especially when you have family members who say, they start off with, I know what's best. I've been there. Well, you may know what's best and you may have been there, but it doesn't mean that you know what's best for me. And also, let's think about it. Times are different. Now, of course, the foundations are not changing, but times are different. Now, when I say certain things like foundation, that is like morals, integrity, respect, empathy, things like that. That should always be present. However, it's okay to say no. And more often, I would say no. Okay? You may not even be comfortable with saying no, but you should start getting into no. And also, like I said, you could say no respectfully. And you can even start out saying respectfully, nope, that's not something that I want to do. And because your choices and characteristics may not be comfortable for your family, but it's your responsibility not to ensure their comfort, but to ensure your comfort. People frequently conceal when it comes to saying no or fear that they may disappoint, they even conceal their sexual gender identities, their interests, careers, truth from family members for fear of upsetting a relative. And that is true. You hear about it all the time where people are depressed. They may even be suicidal because they have the fear in them of being rejected. And as they used to say, the fear of God, they put the fear of God in you. Absolutely. I've had that. And then when you make a decision that you really didn't want to, but you've done it because you want to please someone, it's almost like it's inevitable. You hate the fact that you agreed because it doesn't make you happy. And in situations like this, it leads to what I call surface level relationships because you miss out on the significance of difficult family gatherings and also intimate relationships with your relatives, especially even your parents. And while the words you use, of course, when it comes to family and of course your parents should be kind, you're not required to be inauthentic simply because a relative does not like or feel comfortable with your aspect of your life and who you are. you, especially when you become an adult, you have to be your own authentic self. And that may be that in times where you may spend less time with them. It happens, but you could still be nice, and even the time you spend, you can still enjoy it. Certain conversations doesn't have to always interfere with your relationship. You may just decide, you know what, we're not going to talk about that now because I really want to enjoy your company. Let's talk about something else. And while making time and energy for your family is important, your personal and professional goals are equally, if not more. So sacrificing your goals, your dreams, your career, and future for the sake of your family should not be expected of you. You will likely to be resented if you do. But as long as you're being a productive citizen, you may be run across some rough patches with them, but ultimately they will be happy. No one wants to visit you in, especially the jail, the hospital, and also the grave. So as long as you're productive, it should be okay. Trust me, been there, done that. And of course, now I'm very happy where I am. And happiness is not something that you are responsible for when it comes to other people. You are responsible for your happiness. And of course, being kind to others is essential, but you shouldn't have to tread carefully to keep everyone happy, including your parents. You are not responsible for anybody else's happiness. And it's critical to understand between the difference of caring for family and making them happy. It's not your responsibility to please or to make them happy. I'm going to preface that again. You can offer care and support, but you don't have to agree or follow through with everything that they feel is essential. I had a boss back in the day. She said, what one person feels essential or important, someone else may not. And it's the truth. You have to determine what is the best course of action for you. But I'm going to even give you a segue here. When parents are paying for certain things, they feel like, my money, I can give my opinion. Now, if you want to veer off and if you want to have your own opinion, and if you want to go out there and you want to be an adult, you have to adult. That means paying your own way. That means being responsible for anything that should happen. And of course, we all have bumps in the roads. It is okay. Life is not a straight line. It's going to be some curves. You're going to take 8 steps back. Sometimes you take 5 forward. But the important part is you keep moving. And if you ever need it, it's okay. Ask help. Family and friends and especially parents, they can be wonderful. Rely on them when they come around. It is okay. It doesn't mean that you have to let everyone in the family knows what's going on, but there is maybe a couple that you can rely on. You don't have to drop everything for your family in need or, at the drop of a hat. It is okay. But before reacting and making a decision, pause, consider what's best for everyone in the situation. And if it's possible that you need help or need someone else that would be better suited to help you at that time, ask them. Sometimes, family, especially parents, they like you to ask for help. They want to feel needed. Some parents will guilt their children into giving them or giving into something. But guess what? It is okay. The most important thing is prioritizing your health. And of course, I know sometimes people like to say, well, my parents come first. But honestly, you come first. Because if you're healthy, then guess what? Then that means that you can help when needed when it comes to your family and also especially your parents. It is okay. So again, I know some people may not like it, but guess what? You don't owe your parents or anyone anything. Now, again, like I said, I try to spoil mine every chance you get because I feel like, they are deserving of it. And they are. So I don't want you to take this as a negative. You just have to do what's best for you. And without a doubt, you know I'm always here, so you can always call me at 973-214-6464. And you can always email me at drlamarrspencer@gmail.com. And I'm on all the socials, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. If you type in my name, Dr. Lamarr Spencer or Dr. Lamarr Renee Spencer, trust me, I will come up. Just don't call me at like 2 a.m. and say, hey, I got a problem with my parents. And I'm joking, but I have gotten calls like that before. So again, I'm glad you enjoyed this. And also, as always, don't forget the book is out. The depths and diversity within relationships. Let's talk about it. It's on Amazon and it's an anthology, and we talked about different types of relationships. So don't forget, pick that book up on Amazon. Thank you so very much. Of course, I feel like I'm tongue-tied because, as you know, when you talk for a while, you feel like, your throat's dry. But again, the book is called The Depths and Diversity Within Relationships. So go pick it up. It's on Amazon. Thank you all. And until the next episode, you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.
You've been listening to The Truth of the Matter with Dr. Spencer. Yes, we talk about taboo topics, but that's life, and we keep it real and raw. Our passion is to educate and enlighten. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review the show, and we'll be back soon. But if you have a unique relationship situation and you'd like help, or you're tired of having to choose between your career and personal life, Dr. Lamarr Renee Spencer is a life alignment strategist and a certified life, relationship, and business coach. So make sure to reach out on Instagram and TikTok at Dr. Lamarr Spencer, on Twitter at Dr. Spencer 15, on Facebook at Dr. Lamarr Renee Spencer, and the website drlamarrspencer.com. Or go old school and call 973-214-6464.
Don't forget to purchase the book, The Depth and Diversity with Relationships. Find it on Amazon and the website.
See you next time on The Truth of the Matter.